Okay, so there's two types of factoring. So the first one we're going to start with is greatest common factor. On your assignment, it says which type to do. So greatest common factor, you see what you can get out of both terms. So here you have 5x and 10. So there's no, they both don't have x terms. So we can't take out the x, but here you can divide this. You can divide this one by 5, and you can divide this one by 5. So what that's going to look like is you pull out a 5, and then what's left when you divide that by 5 is x. When you divide this by 5, it becomes 2, positive 2. So there you go. That's the answer. That's the greatest common factor. On this one on the right, the 11 and the 25, you can't divide those by the same number. So we're going to leave those alone. So we're just going to bring the 11 and the positive 25. They're just going to come down here some way in some fashion. Those are, you can't do anything to those. But this one has 2 x's. This one has 4 x's. Because really what you're looking at is 11 x 2 3 4, and then this one is 25 x x. So what we can do is we can take 2 out of this one and 2 out of this one. So we set that over here. You can take out that x squared, and then here you're left with 2 x's. So this will be x squared, and then the 25, we took all of its x's away. So this is what you're left with. X squared, 11x squared plus 25. On Canvas, some of your problems will look like this, where it's like it'll be negative 3x, and then you have these parentheses where you fill in the blank. So when you have that, we already did the first step for you, so you just got to see what factors out. So in this case, because this was given in the answer, like it will be in some of your problems, this is what you have to factor out. So what you're basically doing, you divide this by a negative 3x. I'm sorry, not negative, it's just 3x. Yeah, so each of these can be divided by 3x. But it's not like the big long division that you had to do last assignment. It's just, you just reduce it. So what's left here is negative 1 for this first part. That was this one. The second part, yep, 3. So positive 3. This is, there's 1x at the bottom here, and there's 2 at the top. So you're just left with 1x left. And then here, 30 divided by 3 is positive 10. We lost one of the x's, so 10 to the 3. So when you think about dividing like this one, what's really happening here is 9x x divided by 3x. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, and then these x's reduce, so you have 3x. So that's why we got this here. Yeah, so in this one, your answer on Canvas will be like this. You have these blanks, and then you have this box right here where you enter in something. So typing this in, you would do negative 1 plus 3x plus 10x exponent 3 is what that would look like when you type in that answer on Canvas. So that is GCF factoring, greatest common factor. Most of your problems are like this. The second type you'll run into today is factoring by grouping. And it looks like a lot, but really it's just doing the GCF twice. On all the ones that you're given with these, you're going to split it up half and half. So it's going to be the first two terms and then the second two terms. You're going to end up with, you'll factor out the biggest thing you can. What'd you say? You'll factor out the biggest thing you can, and then you'll end up with your answer. So let's just get into it. So these you can divide by, these you can divide by 5. Let's do this. You can divide by 5x to the 2. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. X3 and x2 gives you x plus 25x divided by 5 is 5, and then, yeah, there it is. So we're able to pull 5x squared out of that one. So on this other side, you're going to divide by, you can divide this one by 7. So if you divide that by 7, you have 3x. And then 35 divided by 5 is positive 5. Okay, so you notice you came out with the same thing down here. That's what we wanted. So what you have is your first term is this. So 5x squared plus 7. And then your second term, just copy down one of the ones you did here. As long as they're the same, we're in good shape. 3x plus 5. So this is how factoring by grouping works. You want to come out with the same thing when you do these. So split it right in the middle. Over here, we can take out a 2. We can take out an x squared. So if we do that, that's going to be 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that's going to just be x. X plus 1. So we know whatever we divide this by, if we get x plus 1, we're in good shape. They both have a negative, so let's make this negative. That's x, and that's plus 1. Ah, we did it. So 2x minus 7. 2x minus 7. And then the other one is x plus 1. You will. Oh, square goes here. Thank you. You do have some with multiple variables. It's going to be multiple choice. Let me just pull up what I have to make it look like yours. Give me a second. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this is another one. I'm going to draw it like it'll look like on canvas. Oh, wait, this one's multiple choice. Well, whatever. I'll just have this because I'm just kind of rambling. A box doesn't need that big. It's okay. It's insane. Okay, so sometimes you're given the first term, so that's nice. So we know we can divide this one by, there you go, it's going to be 2, and it's going to be 7. Yeah. So if you're given those first terms, this one's going to be 2x. This one's going to be negative 7. So over here, it's going to be 6 divided by 2 is 3y. Then minus 10 divided by 2 is 5. You have 1x left. Great. So we get that same thing over here. That's a 3y. And then that is plus 5x. Yeah. So that's the term that goes in this box. Thank you. So 3y plus 5x. That is factor by grouping. So your first half is GCF. Your second half is factor by grouping, which is basically 2 GCFs in one problem. And then you write them in a certain way.